Who is winning the US presidential election? It's hard to say with certainty, but increasingly, Donald Trump's chances are looking better. His opponent, Joe Biden, looks increasingly weak after fumbling his way through a presidential debate. There's talk of Democrats looking to replace him, which would clear the path for Trump. But his biggest hurdle were his legal battles. Trump faces 91 criminal charges in 4 cases, and now he may get some relief on that front too. Thanks to the US Supreme Court, it delivered a judgment yesterday, a judgment on the powers of the president. And it seems that one of those powers is immunity. Not for everything, but immunity for any official act they conduct. This is what the US Supreme Court said, that a president's unofficial or private acts can be prosecuted, but not his or her official acts. So it's not total immunity, it's partial. And yet it helps Donald Trump. He's calling it a big win. This is what he posted on his social media platform, Truth Social. It said, "Big win for our Constitution and democracy, proud to be an American." That's what Trump posted. Now, Trump is not the president, not yet anyway. So why is he celebrating this ruling? Because it may just power him to the White House again. You see, Donald Trump is facing a number of legal challenges, like I just said, like the January 6th case. On January 6, 2021, there was a riot at the US Capitol building. Trump supporters stormed the building because he'd lost the presidential election. Trump is accused of inciting that riot. A few days later, Joe Biden took oath as president, and Trump has been facing a trial over this. But then along comes this new ruling by the US Supreme Court. It grants immunity to Donald Trump for his official acts as president. The acts that were conducted in his official capacity as US president. What does that mean? Well, no one can be sure at this point. It's open to interpretation. Did Trump talk to the rioters in his official capacity as president, or did he address them as a private citizen? That's for the courts to decide. And they will take time to figure this out, to create a rule book for official and unofficial acts of a president. And the fact that time will be needed will certainly help Trump. Because at the moment, he just needs to avoid trials for a few months. The presidential election is slated for November. Trials were lined up in some of the cases against Trump, but now the scenario has changed. There are new rules and limits in play, meaning the courts will have to scour through all the legal documents in Trump's cases. And line by line, they will have to decide what was an official act and what was not. And that could take months, if not years. Long enough for Trump to return to the White House if he wins and just grant himself a pardon, which a president can do. Trump's opponents know this. Biden said it himself.
Now the man who sent that mob to the U.S. Capitol is facing potential criminal conviction for what happened that day. And the American people deserve to have an answer in the courts before the upcoming election. The public has a right to know the answer about what happened on January 6th before they are asked to vote again this year. Now, because of today's decision, that is highly, highly unlikely. It's a terrible disservice to the people of this nation.
Biden admitted that it's highly unlikely that Trump will go to trial before the election. So with this immunity ruling, the US Supreme Court has made it easier for Trump to get re-elected, to win the election. Now, irrespective of a trial, Trump's core supporters were going to vote for him. But in America, the deciding factor is often the swing voters, the undecided ones. They could have been swayed by the legal proceedings. Trump could have lost their votes had the trials begun. But now he may be able to hold on to some of those undecided votes. Basically, Donald Trump has no trials to worry about before the November election, and Joe Biden is taking this hard. Yesterday, he made this plea to American voters.
I know I will respect the limits of the presidential powers I have for 3.5 years. But any president, including Donald Trump, will now be free to ignore the law. I concur with Justice Sotomayor's dissent today. Here's what she said. She said, in every use of official power, the president is now a king above the law. With fear for our democracy, I dissent. End of quote. So should the American people dissent. I dissent. May God bless you all, and may God help preserve our democracy. Thank you.
He spoke about Justice Sotomayor, who did not agree with the immunity verdict. She said it makes a president, and I'm quoting, king above the law. This ruling makes a president king above the law. And the way things are going, Trump may end up exercising royal power from the Oval Office next year. On the show today, the T20 World Cup bandwagon fans will be crossed to the West Indies. What can you expect from this?
Hello, I'm Alison Green, coming to you from Durban, South Africa.